This October, I ended up watching a total of 32 horror movies. I rewatched some favorites and found a couple new hidden gems, so let's just get right into it. I'll give y'all an overview of my tiers here real quick. So we have Smash and Pass, self-explanatory. Then there's rewatch material. I'll make a prediction now and say that this is probably going to be my most populated category. There's adds to the vibes because sometimes you just want to watch a Halloween movie, standards aside. And then finally we've got I Want My 90 Minutes Back, which is also self-explanatory. All the movies you see right here I've imported from my Letterboxd, and I'm going to get started with movies I rewatched this October. This first movie is easy, Censor. I'm going to go ahead and put it in Smash. I love this movie. It's definitely underrated horror. I believe it takes place in 1980s Britain, and we follow a young woman who works as a film censor through the video nasties craze. This movie is just full of dread. It's beautiful, and I love it. I would definitely recommend this one. Next up, we have Cuckoo, which might be an unpopular opinion, but I liked it. I don't even know how to explain this one. Anything I say could probably be a spoiler, so I will be as vague as possible. It follows Gretchen, who's 17, and she's in a German resort visiting her father, well, now living with her father after her mother had unfortunately passed away. It's a sci-fi movie. I would definitely say go into it with that expectation, but it is heartwarming actually, and I liked it on second watch. And next up we have Companion. I'm also gonna put this one in Smash because I love it. It is so funny. It follows something I can't really say. It's a social commentary movie, and it's great to watch in a group, okay? If you're interested in Sophie Thatcher, put it on, okay? Just watch this one. Okay, so this one, not underrated at all. And can I even say that much about Rocky Horror? I brought this whole stack of horror movies to watch with my friends close to Halloween, and they only cared about Rocky Horror. It's aged beautifully, and I can't even describe really what it's about, so it's another one. If you haven't seen it, please go have fun. Okay, now we have The Substance, which, easy ranking. If you've watched any of my videos, I've probably talked about this. It is another social commentary movie. You're probably going to see quite the pattern here. It's about an older celebrity who's aging out of her television career. It's heavy on aging commentary, and it is a beautiful, enjoyable body horror film. It's very gory though. That's not your thing. Maybe not this one. Okay, now we have Talk to Me. I'm torn on this one. I love this movie. This was my Halloween movie for the year. It is scary. It's really scary, and it's really heartbreaking. I'm gonna put it in Smash. Sorry. Let's hope this list evens itself out at the end of the video. This movie is a grief movie, and it is very much a metaphor for drug use. The scares in this movie are top notch. If you like ghost movies, here you go. Perfect. It follows a young girl who's mostly staying at her friend's house after her mother passed away, and they all get involved in this weird hand game, kind of like a Ouija board, and it invites in spirits, and bad things start to happen. I love it, and it's a feel-bad movie. Okay, now we have Weapons, which is definitely not underrated, but I watched it, so I have to talk about it. If you like a good mystery, if you like split perspective films, if you like supernatural horror, this is another one. It's a heavy movie. It follows a lot of people, mainly a little boy whose class disappeared, and weird things are happening in his town and at his home. This movie I probably saw in theaters 2 or 3 times, and it is just another great watch. I think it's good for Halloween. I would definitely recommend if you haven't seen it, and I think it's on HBO now. Now we have X, which I think I'm gonna put here in rewatch material. It's my favorite of the trilogy, but I think I love it a little bit less than these movies. It follows a group of friends who are traveling to a remote cabin to film an adult movie, and it's reminiscent of that late 70s, early 80s campy horror. If you're a fan of like The Evil Dead, I think you will like this movie. I think it maybe gets criticized for who the villains turn out to be, but I think it's nuanced enough that I didn't have a problem with it, and it is a very fun movie, again, to watch with people. Maybe not your mom like I did though. Next up is Bodies, 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 and it's another one of my favorites. It's a great Gen Z slasher film. The characters are realistically annoying without just pissing you off. It's about a group of old friends who are meeting up at one of their houses, and there's a storm, they all kind of get locked in, and they're playing an old game they used to play called Bodies, Bodies, Bodies. During the night, one of them dies, and it's kind of, Clue-esque, if you could even say that. It's stupid, it's funny, and it's another one I would highly, highly recommend. So now we have Jennifer's Body. I'm gonna put it in rewatch material just because it's a little dated. It's very much a 2000s film. It follows Jennifer Check and her best friend Needy. They run into a group of men at a bar, the band actually, and they're up to no good. Bad things happen. It's a little homoerotic. It's a good time, okay? Definitely a 2000s movie though. Just keep that in mind. Now we have Late Night with the Devil. This I'm gonna put in added to the vibe. It wasn't a bad movie. I didn't like the end. I'll say that. It was a little bit more out there than I was expecting. So it follows a struggling TV personality who has a special act planned for Halloween night. He has invited this little girl and her guardian who can psychically contact the demon that she is allegedly possessed by. I didn't hate this movie at all. It's maybe just not my thing, but I still think it was a fun watch for the season. Now we have Trick or Treat, which I'm also gonna put and add to the vibe. I have never seen this movie, and I feel like if I seen it a long time ago, it would probably be near and dear to my heart. It is also very much a 2000s movie like Jennifer's Body, and it follows multiple things. It's kind of an anthology, a little bit like VHS Halloween that we're gonna get to in a second. This one is hard for me to explain, and it came out so long ago and has become a little bit of a cult classic that I'll just say that I recommend it for Halloween. Something I will talk about is VHS Halloween. I want to put it in I Want My 90 Minutes Back, but the vibes were there. It's kind of like a found footage movie, and some of the campy stories were funny and Halloweeny. Some of the other ones were just a little bit boring. I wouldn't spend your time on it, maybe. It's another one that I can't really sum up for you, and I think it's actually kind of better if you don't know anything about it. If you like VHS movies, I'm sure this is probably a good addition. It's just not for me. Okay, next we have Good Boy. I saw this in theaters and I loved it. I think it came out in October and it was so good. I agree with some people that the premise is a little bit simple, but if you don't know, this is the movie that is from a dog's POV. His owner is sick and we are following the two of them basically as this supernatural entity gets closer and closer. It's very unsettling, it's very heartwarming, and I was so glad to see this in theaters because we got a little like blurb from the director after, and we got to see Indy. I love it. Please go support this movie. It was great. With Good Boy, we're kind of back at the underrated films. Next up will be Pyewacket. I liked this movie. I don't know, okay? It was almost like really good. The ending just didn't commit as much as I had wanted it to, but I still think it is worth your time. It follows a young girl who is into the occult, and she's having problems with her mother after her father died. And as things happen between them, she turns to her occult books and she ends up doing something that she may or may not regret. I like how they did the monster slash ghost in this movie. I liked the characters. I thought it was fun. I would recommend this one. I think it's definitely in the realm of fun, underrated horror. Same with this movie, Host. I probably gonna put it in Smash, honestly. It's a shorter movie about a group of friends who are on Zoom and trying to have a seance that goes very wrong, and that's what I'm gonna give you. It's worth your time. It's underrated. I've heard people talk about it, but I've definitely heard people talk about Unfriended more, and this one is better. If you're turned off at all by the Zoom aspect of this film, I actually think they do it really well, and it's still worth your time. Okay, so we have gone to my first group of movies here. I am missing a couple, clearly, but I'm going to start with the original Evil Dead. I'm gonna put it and add it to the vibe. I think I probably would have liked Evil Dead 2, watching that first, at least from what I've heard about it. That's one that I haven't seen. I thought it was classic, you know? I think if you're a horror fan and you wanna, pay homage to the OGs, this is a good one to start with. Now we have Evil Dead from 2013. I think I'm gonna put it in Smash, okay? The premise is really good actually. It's a really good adaptation for the Evil Dead. It's the same concept, but this time a brother is taking his sister with a group of these friends out to a cabin and she's going to detox off of heroin. Stakes are high immediately. All of the Evil Dead movies are good if you don't want to sit there for 40 minutes waiting for something to happen. And I really like the final girl in this movie. So, and the last Evil Dead movie I watched was Evil Dead Rise. I also really like this movie, just a little bit less. I'm probably going to put it in rewatched material. It follows the same concept, I guess, with the spirits, but this time it takes place in an apartment building with this woman and her children, and her sister comes to see her with the news that she's pregnant. All of these movies, especially Evil Dead Rise and Evil Dead 2013, the ending is great. I would definitely recommend these two, and I think that it's a very fresh adaptation to the franchise. Now we have one that people have, I think, recently started talking about a lot more, and that is Saint Maud. Okay, I'm gonna do something here. I'm gonna put it in pass, and I'm actually gonna drop down VHS Halloween because I don't think they should be on the same level. I'll say that. I liked the concept of this movie. I liked the actor. Religious horror like this doesn't necessarily do it for me because I'm not a religious person. People I watched it with were, and they liked it a lot more, so I'll put that disclaimer here. It follows a young nurse who's coming to take care of an older woman who I believe she's on hospice care, and she's just a very devout, religious person, and things devolve from there. Again, I think if you have a good understanding of religion, I'm assuming it's like Christianity, Catholicism, I believe. This movie will probably be a bigger hit for you. We've made it through this list faster than I thought, and now we're at one of my favorite movies on it, which is Stopmotion. Any movie I can recommend on this list, actually, is this movie. It's so creepy. It is so good. It's so dreadful. It follows a woman who is a stop motion artist, and she makes all of these like claymation pieces with her mother, and I believe her mother gets sick and she has to take over her art, and things just are very hard for her. This is definitely my idea of like an underrated horror gem. Next up, we have the film Mama, and this might be controversial, but I really liked Mama, okay? The reviews are definitely mixed. It is about two young girls who end up in the remote wilderness, and they get raised basically by this spirit called Mama. And the movie doesn't really follow that. We kind of just get to see that it happens. The movie's actually about them going back home. They go to live with their uncle and his like rocker chick girlfriend. I like all of the characters in this movie. The child actors are amazing, and it's just very sad. They have a really hard time, and you feel bad for these girls the whole time. You're like, I guess let them go live in the woods with Mama. Sorry if that was a little bit too spoilery, but I think the magic lies in, the acting for this one. I watched a couple foreign films during October, and this movie, Huesera, is one of them. It is a mind. So this is pregnancy horror. I believe it takes place in Mexico or Peru. It follows a rather unconventional woman who has decided to settle down and get pregnant, and her whole family is a little bit you know, not thrilled. Not thrilled for her. It follows this woman's path with motherhood and what that means to her. I think this movie is kind of a love letter for people who have like a maternal instinct, but so deeply want what's best for themselves and for their hypothetical child that it's so complicated. And I think this captures it perfectly. And I would love to know more about the folklore. I believe it's a Mexican folk tale that this movie is based off of. I will say this isn't a movie that necessarily gives you all the answers, but I'm okay with that. If you're okay with that, give it a shot. Next up, we have The Menu. I put this movie off, and I shouldn't have, okay? It was great. I'm gonna put it in rewatch material just because it is so very campy, and I wish that maybe it was a little bit less, but I still love it. It follows a woman who's on a date with this guy, and they are going to this very exclusive restaurant. You'll shortly learn that everybody there has been chosen to be there, and our main character here has not been. It is a good psychological horror. If you like The Bear, you'll probably like this one. Next up, we have the Creep movies. For Creep, I will probably put it in added to the vibes, okay? Is it bad to say that this is a Halloween movie just because Peach Fuzz? Probably, but it is for me. So it basically follows a man who's like on Craigslist looking for an unsuspecting videographer to film his life. And things get creepy. What can you even say about this movie? It's darling, okay? I love the acting in it. It's very original. And I will leave it there. Creep 2 was my preferred movie. So it's the same concept, but this time the person who is going to be filming all of this for the Creep is this woman who has like a YouTube show, and she attempts to try new things and meet weird people, and her show is just not doing well. So when she comes across this listing, it's like struck gold. This movie is actually a movie that you need to go watch right now. Humanist vampire seeking consenting suicidal person. Yes, 10 points for the long title. This is a French movie, and I kind of forgot it was even in a language that I can't really understand because all of the actors are so emotive. It's like Twilight if Twilight was good and not actually a romance, okay? If Bella and Edward were really good friends. That maybe makes you want to not watch it, so just ignore that. It follows a vampire, Sasha, and we learn that she can't really drink blood. She doesn't believe in it. She's like a vegetarian of vampires. Until she oversees this boy who she believes is about to, you know, what the title says. And for the first time, her fangs come out. It is just great. It is such a sweet movie with a wonderful ending, and I cannot wait to rewatch it. Next up is The Blackcoat's Daughter. Kind of similar to Saint Maud, but make it 2000s horror where nothing really happens, but Kernan Shipka is cool. This movie is also kind of a mindfuck movie, but I would put it in mindfuck bad, where you just kind of don't know what happened because they don't really want to tell you. And I'm pretty sure this is the movie where the director is like, if you don't get it, like, you're just stupid. Which I'm okay with being stupid because I didn't like it. It follows a couple girls at a religious like boarding school, and it's also kind of a pregnancy horror, but nothing comes of it. Basically one day just their parents don't come to pick them up over break, and you know, surprise surprise, things go bad. I liked the horror elements that they gave us, but I just feel like maybe they didn't give us very much. Now we have the movie Presents. I liked it, okay? There are some scenes that I don't actually think that I would enjoy rewatching. But this is a movie that I think everybody should at least watch once. It's a sad movie, I'll warn ya. It's about this girl who has lost a couple of her friends, I believe to drug overdoses. And it's just a family dynamic movie from the perspective of a ghost. You don't see them really see the ghost, and the big twist at the end when you find out who it is makes you cry. I would recommend this movie. It is a little bit similar to Pyewacket, not in concept but in vibe. I like a good ghost movie, and this is that. I just genuinely probably cannot rewatch a couple of the harder scenes in there. Maybe I'll mute it or like go to the bathroom during those parts. So now we have Swallow, which is another pregnancy movie, and it was hard to watch. Oh my god. It follows a woman who's married to a man who is a lot wealthier than her, and she is clearly trying to become like a perfect wife, a perfect housewife, and perfect mother. And eventually She gets rather addicted in a way to swallowing objects. She has pica, and the movie is just very heavy. I this one falls into the same category as Presents for me, where it was a good movie, but there's a couple scenes in there where I just don't know if I can rewatch it. I'm gonna put it in rewatch material just because the body horror in this movie is so good and like cringeworthy. It's a movie that I also would say at least watch once. We are almost at the end of the list here, and I think we have a couple good ones to end things out with. Next up, we have I Saw the TV Glow. I definitely gonna put that in rewatch material because I think the more I watch it, the more I'm gonna love it. And you don't always get that with horror movies. And I'm a rewatcher, so I like that, okay? It's kind of like a coming of age film about this young boy and like these creepy 90s shows that like haunt you as a child. It is a film about self-discovery, and I think if you are queer, it will probably resonate a lot with you. It was a little bit more campy than I expected, but I believe that was the point. And it has Phoebe Bridgers, so you kind of have to watch it. And finally, we have Gonjiam Haunted Asylum. I think it will go in rewatch material. It's a creepy found footage movie. It follows this group of people who do a web series together, and they go to one of the most haunted places that they can find, which is this asylum that they have to climb mountains to get to and set up base camps and sleeping bags, and it's very elaborate. And I will say it's a movie that, nothing happens for a good bit, but the scares are great. The scares are great. It actually really reminds me of this book. I think I'm actually going to do a more in-depth video on books for horror movie lovers, so let me know if that's interesting to you. It gets very like existential maze horror at the end, and it is definitely a good one. And there you go. Now you know how I spent my month. Don't forget you can follow along on my Letterboxd, and you should subscribe if you haven't. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, let me know, and I'll be back with November's list.